Bats are disease-spreading monsters. Sharks are man-eating killers. Spiders are venomous nightmares waiting to attack you in your sleep. Vultures are disgusting scavengers. At least, that's what popular culture has told us. But what if I told you that every single one of those beliefs is either completely wrong or wildly exaggerated? Today, we're defending the most unfairly hated animals on Earth, and by the end of this video, I think you'll see them in a completely different light. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're being defense attorneys for animals that desperately need better PR. Subscribe, and let's set the record straight. Bats are one of the most unfairly demonized animals on the planet. They're associated with disease, vampires, and darkness, and almost none of this reputation is deserved. Of over 1,400 bat species, only 3 drink blood, and they primarily feed on livestock, not humans. The vast majority of bats eat insects. A single little brown bat can eat up to 1,000 mosquitoes per hour. Across the US, bats save the agricultural industry an estimated $3.7 billion per year in pest control. Bats are also critical pollinators. Over 500 plant species depend on bats for pollination, including agave, used for tequila, bananas, mangoes, and cacao, used for chocolate. Without bats, many of the foods we love would disappear. Yes, bats can carry diseases, but so can dogs, rats, birds, and every other wild animal. The risk of disease transmission from bats to humans is extremely low when bats are left undisturbed. The real disease risk comes when humans encroach on bat habitats, forcing close contact. Sharks kill an average of about 5 people per year worldwide. You're more likely to be killed by a cow, a falling coconut, or a vending machine. The fear of sharks is wildly disproportionate to the actual risk. Meanwhile, humans kill an estimated 100 million sharks per year through fishing, finning, and bycatch. We are a vastly greater threat to sharks than they are to us, and the loss of sharks is devastating ocean ecosystems. Most shark attacks are actually investigatory bites. The shark is trying to figure out what something is, not trying to eat it. Sharks don't have hands, so they explore with their mouths. Unfortunately, a curious nibble from a great white is still dangerous to humans because of the force involved. But deliberate, predatory attacks on humans are extraordinarily rare. Sharks have been swimming in our oceans for over 400 million years. They predate trees. They're essential apex predators that keep marine ecosystems balanced. Without them, the oceans would be in serious trouble. Snakes terrify more people than almost any other animal, but the fear is largely cultural. In countries where people grow up around snakes, the phobia is much less common. Of approximately 300 snake species, only about 600 are venomous, and of those, only about 200 can actually harm a human. The vast majority of snakes are completely harmless and incredibly beneficial. They're among the most important pest controllers on the planet, keeping populations of rodents, insects, and other pests in check. In the US, about 5 people die from snake bites per year, usually because they provoked the snake or failed to seek medical treatment. Snakes don't chase humans, don't seek out humans, and will almost always flee when given the chance. Vultures are nature's cleanup crew, and without them, the world would be a much more dangerous place. By consuming dead animals, vultures prevent the spread of diseases like anthrax, botulism, rabies, and cholera. Their stomach acid is so strong, it can destroy virtually any pathogen, including anthrax spores. In India, when vulture populations crashed by 99% due to a veterinary drug called diclofenac, the consequences were devastating. Without vultures, feral dog populations exploded, feeding on the carcasses vultures would have consumed, leading to an estimated 50,000 additional human deaths from rabies over a decade. Vultures aren't disgusting. They're essential. They prevent epidemics just by eating lunch. Wolves have been feared and persecuted for centuries, portrayed as villains in countless stories. In reality, wolf attacks on humans are extremely rare. There have been only 2 confirmed fatal wolf attacks in North America in the past century. As we discussed in our rivalry video, when wolves were removed from Yellowstone, the entire ecosystem collapsed. When they were reintroduced, it recovered. Wolves are keystone species. They shape ecosystems in ways that benefit dozens of other species. Almost all spider bites attributed to spiders aren't actually spider bites at all. Studies have shown that the majority of spider bites presented to doctors are actually caused by bacterial infections, other insect bites, or skin conditions. Spiders rarely bite humans because we're not prey and we're not perceived as threats. Spiders consume an estimated 400 to 800 million tons of insects per year globally. Without spiders, the world would be overrun by insects within months. They are arguably the most important pest controllers on the planet. Thanks to The Lion King and decades of nature documentaries portraying them as cowardly scavengers, hyenas have a terrible reputation. In reality, spotted hyenas are highly intelligent, socially complex, and hunt up to 95% of their own food. They have complex social hierarchies, recognize individual relationships, and cooperate in sophisticated ways. Female hyenas dominate their clans and have complex social bonds. Their cognitive abilities rival those of many primates. They deserve respect, not ridicule. The reputations of these animals have real conservation consequences. Animals that people fear or hate receive less funding, less protection, and less sympathy when their populations decline. Shark conservation is harder because people fear sharks. Bat conservation suffers because people associate bats with disease. Snake habitats are destroyed because people don't want snakes near them. Understanding these animals accurately is the first step toward protecting them. And protecting them isn't just good for them, it's essential for us. Every animal on today's list is more helpful, more important, and less dangerous than most people think. If this video changed your mind about any of these creatures, that's a win. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's afraid of bats or sharks.